All right, it's 6:02. Thank you so very much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get this workshop started. My name is Sherry Ridge. I'm the Department Chair Instructor of Business. I'm here at the college. I'm also the advisor for the Business Club. The Business Club, as well as our department and Career Services, are the co-sponsors of the job prep workshops. This is our third and final workshop in the series for the spring. And so we are happy to present to you job searching during a pandemic. Again, it is recorded. We do ask and require that our students have their cameras on. We also ask that if your name is something different than the name that is on your Zoom account, please put that in the chat so that we can make sure that you get credit in case you're attending this and you have an instructor that needs to get that information to you. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to our wonderful presenter, Demetrius, who is in charge of the Career Services Department here on campus, and he will get us started. So how about we give a big round of applause for Demetrius.
Well, good evening, everyone. I love happy, that's what we plan happy, but happy Wednesday. On a Wednesday evening, it's sunny outside, but I'm not sure. It's sunny in Chicago. I'm living in Chicago, but I heard it was hailing in McHenry. Was it like hail and storms? How is it in McHenry?
Stormed. It was around, I'd say 2:30 to maybe 3:45, but I believe it stopped. So.
Okay, cool. So it is a happy sunny Wednesday. So thank you all for being here this evening. And so I'm grateful for the Business Club and Sherry Ridge for even having us do this. This is our second or third semester doing these workshops in a collaboration. So we're so excited. We can't wait for next fall. We already having some topics already. We have some topics that we already thinking about for next semester. So we're so super excited. Just to let you know, I have a toothache. So I may have to stop. I may have to drink some water. I may ask Linda Gurley. Linda Gurley is our administrative assistant in Career Services. I may even have her like, hey, read that PowerPoint slide for me because I can't talk. But Linda is here. So Linda and myself oversee the Career Services Center. And I'm going to go ahead and get started and talk about what we do. But since it's a small group, can we just go around and introduce ourselves real quickly? Let's start off with Jacob.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jacob, and I'm the current treasurer of the Business Club. And also, if you need help reading off the slides, I'm your guy.
Okay, cool. And Jacob, how long you been a student at MCC?
This is my fourth and final semester here. So I've been here for a while. I've done my resume stuff with you. So I've been here for a little bit.
Cool. It's good to see you again, Jacob. Looking good.
See you again, too. Right back at you.
Hey, Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I'm also a part of Business Club. I don't have a title or anything, just a member, and it is my second semester at MCC.
Cool. Well,
I just want to say she's not just a member. Oh. Never just.
Vanessa, I'm loving that hat. You rocking that hat.
Thank you. I made it.
Okay, very nice. Entrepreneurship. We need to talk about that. That's one of our slides. Talk about entrepreneurship.
You can chat. Yeah, no, I'm down.
Okay, cool. Nice to meet you, Vanessa. I want to make sure I say your name right. It starts with an H. Can you say your name for me? Because I don't want to mess it up.
You mean my name?
Yes, you. Yes.
My name Hiyam Haddad. I am from Syria.
Okay.
I am civil engineer. I am tech English class with MCC. Now third semester. Now I am with teacher Barbara.
Wow, cool.
I try to improve my language. I live in Kuwait, 26 years. Now I come to America before 3 years. My children study here. I come with my children.
Wow, well, thank you so much for sharing your story and welcome. Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cool. And I'm loving that red you have on. Will, how's it going, Will?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. How long you been a student at MCC?
Yeah, so this is my fourth semester at MCC. I started here just taking gen eds, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Originally was thinking about maybe become a history teacher, but now I'm thinking I might go into marketing since I've really enjoyed that class and comes pretty easy to me. So yeah, that's kind of my story.
Cool. Well, welcome, William. And Sherry Ridge just said she gave the thumbs up. You going into marketing, so that's good. That's a good thing. And I'm also one of the business instructors here, so I'm excited for that too. So thank you, Will.
Thank you.
Sarah, how's it going, Sarah? You got to unmute yourself, Sarah.
Okay. Sorry. Hi, my name is Sarah. I took boot camp. I did with you in MCC. I did with you the resume, my resume,
Yes.
and I'm taking classes at MCC.
Cool. It's good to see you again, Sarah. Sarah just
Thank you.
graduated from our boot camp. We do a boot camp in our workforce area, and Sarah just graduated the week before last, before spring break.
2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks ago. So she just graduated from that boot camp. So congratulations, Sarah, and thank you for joining us tonight. It's good to see you again.
Thanks.
And I like she got that background. I want to get that background, the fog, that virtual background. I can't do that, sir. I don't know how you did that. So how you doing, Daniela? How's it going?
It's going pretty well. This is my first workshop that I'm going through. My mentor connected me with the workshops, and it'll be really interesting to hear and get to connect with everyone in this group.
That is cool. Who is your mentor?
Karina.
Karina from the Student Success Center. Yes, cool. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Daniela. And tell Karina we said hello.
Will do.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And I like your background too, Jacob.
Thank you. I actually kind of got the hold of that, so I know how to do all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
Got to show off a little bit.
I know, Jacob. So I'm about to share my screen. Can you guys see it? Yes, thumbs up. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to move this out the way. All right, so I always start off our presentation about what services that we offer. So first of all, I just want to thank everyone for being here this evening, and good to see a lot of you guys back and see a lot of new faces. But the ones who don't really know what we do in our office, I just want to let you know what we do in our office. So Demetrius, I've been here probably almost 2 years now. It'll be my second year. It'll be a full 2 years in August. I've been at the college, and what I do, I oversee the Career Services Center. I'm a student navigator. Also, I teach MCC 101, and also I'm an instructor for principles of management here at the college, thanks to Sherry Ridge. And so, but my main job here at the college is to oversee the Career Services Center. And so what we do in our Career Services Center, we have students, our community members, find the right career. You may be going through career change. You may be thinking about, you want to identify, you want to confirm the career that you're trying to go into, your major. So you're coming to our office, and we have this wonderful assessment tool called Career Coach. And in Career Coach, it'll give you an assessment. And after you take the assessment, it asks you questions about who are you, what's your personality like, what things you like to do. I have a quote: live the life you love the life you live. Find the job or the career that fits your personality, and your personality should fit your job or your career. Sherry Ridge love what she's doing. Linda Gurley love what she's doing. I love what I'm doing. We found the right career for us. So we want to make sure that you find the right career. So in our office, we have a career assessment. So after we identify and we confirm what career you should go into, we have a job shadowing program. Job shadowing program we just started, and what we do, we partner you up with that particular career. Will say he may want to go into marketing. So we have so many marketing interns. We're going to talk about interns in a minute, but we have so many marketing opportunities for you that you can shadow someone for a day and make sure that this is something that you really want to do. And so you'll come into our office, Will, and we'll just say, hey, you did the assessment. You probably like, I already know what I want to do. So you don't have to do the assessment, but we'll just at least connect you with someone in the marketing field so you can do their job shadowing. And we'll like, yes, that's good. That's exciting. So you can come into our office. So that's the first part of our job. We do making sure you got the right career. The second component of what we do in our office is making sure that you get the real world work experience. We want to make sure you get the work experience. You always get people say, hey, I got this wonderful degree, but I have the degree, I have the certification, but I don't have no experience. Companies won't hire me because I don't have the experience. You can gain a wonderful experience by being a part of our internship program. And so, like I just said, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep picking on you because we have a lot of marketing internships. And Linda can nod her head. She know we have so many marketing internships available right now. And so we have all these internships available right now. I mean, literally real time right now. And so with an internship, it can be from 8 to 10 weeks, it can be a whole semester, but you can be a part of our internship program. And our internship program consists of you being in one of our certificate programs here at the college, the great GPA, and you get paid to be in our internship program. We can pay you between $12 to $16 an hour if you're a part of our grant. So the college received a work study grant, which we call it our internship grant. And what we do, we pay the company to pay you to get the work experience. So I'm gonna repeat that. We pay the company to pay you to get the work experience. And so it's really not a lot of money coming out of the company's pocket. It's coming out of the college pocket. And so, but you can get that great on-the-job training as you do that particular internship. Also, we have the apprenticeship program. Right now, our apprenticeship program is only offered in our manufacturing arena. We're trying to expand that, but if you want to go into manufacturing, which would be engineering technology here at our school, which would be CNC and industrial maintenance, you can definitely be a part of our apprenticeship program. So something to think about, someone that probably loves manufacturing, that love to work with their hands, that would be a great way to be a part of our apprenticeship program. So after you get that wonderful work experience, before you even get the work experience, we got to make sure that you're developed. We need to make sure we put that resume together. So your resume got to be great, got to be solid. And so we work with you, develop your resume. And Linda is great. Oh, why did it move? Linda is great at looking at the resumes and making sure that your resume is perfect, solid. She has an eye for detail when it comes to the resume, and I do too. But we both can look at your resume, make sure your resume is on point. We can help you with the interviewing process because, before we can lead you and we can connect you. As Daniela said, she want to be connected. We can connect you with all of these wonderful companies and corporations, but at the end of the day, you have to interview with this company. So how well is your interviewing skills? Now, Jacob, he talk a good game, but we got to make sure he can live up to that game. And so we got to make sure Jacob can go in that interview. Look at Jacob like, what? But Jacob, I know, Jacob, you can back it up. Jacob, you can back it up. But we're going to make sure that we guide you and direct you and give you some tips on making sure you use the right wording when it comes to interviewing. And when you interviewing, remember, they interviewing you, but remember, you're interviewing a company also. So we can help you out with that. And then we have this wonderful online job board. On our online job board is all of our posted our internship opportunities and also our job opportunities posted on our online job board. We will have all of this information, or even Linda can put all this information in our chat, or the links to career coaching, also the links to our online job board, it will be in our chat. So definitely look at the chat and she can put it in there for you. So now, today's presentation is all about how do you do a job search during the pandemic. So we created this particular workshop, and Sherry Ridge and I were just saying, like, Demetrius, I think we need to probably X this particular presentation because now I feel like we're getting back to normal. We having more classes are being available on campus now, so things are getting back to normal. So I'm still going to share these tips. These tips can really help, but our next workshops will be main focus on like LinkedIn presentation, how to market yourself. So we're going to be working on that for our next semester, our presentations. So job search tips. So the first tip is, as you out there searching for a job right now, everyone probably be looking for that summer internship. You probably be looking for a summer job right now, or you're just looking for work in general. It's great for you to create a timeline for your job search. Everyone want to work right now. And so, but it's good for you to create the timeline. So when I started here at MCC about 2 years ago, I just didn't go out and just jump out and just leave my job that I was currently working in. I waited and I looked at other positions. I used that time to look at my resume. So I had set a timeline for when I was looking to leave. And my goal was to leave my previous job. I wanted to leave there by August, and which I did. I wound up starting at MCC of August of 2019. But I had set a goal for myself in January of 2019. I had sat down and I started writing down my goals and expectations for me to look for my job search. So it's very important for you to even set a timeline for your job search. When do you want to start looking for a job? So it's like bullet number 3, set expectations while at the same time working on your career goals. And so that's what I did. I started that in January. I started looking I made my profile in Indeed. I went to ZipRecruiter. I went to Marshall.com. I went to all of my universities that I attended. Every school that you attend has a career center, and every career center has a job board. So I created an online profile for all of these places. So I started to set all of those things into place. So because I said my goal is to be in a new position by August, but I started off in January to start really putting my profiles out there, creating my professional email address, working on my resume, talking to people, networking. But I sat down in January to start writing all of those things out. And so definitely tip number 1 is start to create a timeline for yourself. Any questions on setting the timeline? Cool. All right. I'm going to go to the next one. So I love Daniela just talked about strengthening your connection with your network. So each and every one of you coming to this workshop today, you're going to know me at the end of this presentation. You're going to know Linda. If you don't know Sherry Ridge, you're going to know Sherry Ridge. These are 3 people right now you just met that's going to help you be successful. You just built your network by tenfold by being connected with each and every one of us. Jacob already knows, Jacob been in my office already. And so Jacob already knows Sherry Ridge. And he knows Linda now. So he's now going to be building this network. So if the bullet there says tap into your network now. So start thinking about friends that you have, professional mentors, old colleagues that you probably even know that worked at other places. Now's the time to start reaching out to those people. After you set your timeline, now you start thinking like, who do I know that work in a particular field? Now you can start thinking about that. And so start thinking about who is your friends that you know, who's some of your old teachers that you know, that you from your high school or your elementary school. Start thinking about that. And so start looking into professional mentors, old colleagues, any volunteer experience you ever done before. Start looking at those people. Then as you start seeking them out, start even to go to, for me, what I did, I joined a professional group online. So I joined the Student Affairs Professional group online. I joined them because I wanted to be and still want to work in a college. So I went online and joined these particular professional organizations, like on Facebook and LinkedIn. And next semester, we're going to be doing a whole hour-long presentation on LinkedIn, on how to work LinkedIn and how LinkedIn can really work for you. So, but it's so important to join those particular organization groups. I know I'm going to pick on Will again because Will, you don't know, I think told me your major. But marketing, is so many marketing groups that's out there that you can join. And so this would be great. And I see Daniela, she's writing it down. Go ahead, Daniela. She's writing down every word on the PowerPoint.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's perfectly fine. And so definitely make connections on Facebook. You have know anyone on Facebook, on LinkedIn, this is the perfect time to expand your network when it's time for you to do your job search. Any questions about strengthening your connections? Okay. All right, so tip number 3, identify and apply to the growth industries and specializations. So now, with the pandemic just happened, we have some companies that are closing. We have some companies that are being created, are being new. And so now's the time to identify those companies that are doing very well during this pandemic. The healthcare industry is doing very well. A lot of the manufacturing and building, making masks, the production of making masks, and working in warehousing, those are coming huge right now. So start thinking of those industries that are booming, to the healthcare, Transportation is huge. I have a student that reached out to me today that signed up for McHenry County has a trucking logistics program. So he just signed up for that to be in our transportation arena because he's like, Demetrius, that's where it's at. So start looking at fields that are huge right now. Education is still huge. People are going back to school right now. So what a great way to start thinking of those fields of like, wow, what is in high demand right now? And start thinking of those that should be the industries I should try to apply for. So now is the time to start thinking, reaching out to myself and Linda in the Career Services Center. We can give you the occupational outlook of what are the current careers that are out there is in high demand. Come to us because we get reports on this all the time. We get weekly reports on what are the high demand careers that's out there. And so one of the high demand careers are healthcare, which it says right there, manufacturing, and also these tech companies are huge right now. Are in demand. And so what I mean by tech companies like marketing, all these companies are trying to, I'm going to go back to Will, I don't know if you're still here or not, but a lot of these companies are now having all this social media marketing. They're trying to find ways to market their product. I know, is it Vanessa, right? Vanessa, you're going to be selling your hats, hopefully, because that's a gorgeous hat of yours. My mama will wear that hat, but how would you market that hat? So we got to figure out some ways of how to market that. You can be an entrepreneur, you making that. So now is that particular time to like trying to figure that out because a lot of people are doing that now. Anything you'd like to add, Sherry Ridge, to this? While I drink some water on my tooth.
No, I think all of those are good tips. One of the things I would recommend is Demetrius said, you have all of our names that are here from MCC. Feel free to reach out to us on LinkedIn. It helps to get you the algorithms of how LinkedIn works. The more that you are involved, the more that you have people that are linked to you and the more that you're linked to, it helps to get your profile out there more. And I know we're gonna talk about this in the fall, but the one thing I will say on the LinkedIn too is anything you do, if you know that gone are the days of if you build it, they will come. You really want to make sure that you are communicating and that your profile is complete. So the very minimum, you should have a profile picture and there should be a background picture. When most people that go with that basic, I don't know if you know that you can change that, but there's a basic, just clear light blue background that shows that your whole profile is not complete. So you want to make sure that you do that.
Great job, Sherry Ridge. And thank you for that. Because my tooth was hurting. I was like, oh, I need somebody to say something. I don't know. I can't wait to go to the dentist. Oh, is any dentist people out there? I'm taking oral gel. And oral gel numbs your teeth. I did not know that. I'm over here like I don't know. Sorry. All right. So tip number 4, revamp your resume. This is when we come into play. And then Sherry Ridge just talked about your online profile. Your online profile, which is your LinkedIn profile, is your online resume. So now is the time to revamp your resume, your online profiles, highlight your current career accomplishments, anything that if you're going back to school, now is the time to add that on your resume. You getting a certification. So any of my people who are changing careers, now is the time to add that on your resume, add that on your online profile. Talk about your passions and your skills. This would be the perfect opportunity to do that now. Revamp your resume. Like even from right now, Sherry Ridge gave me this wonderful opportunity to teach. And so now I'm like, oh, I can add principles of management on my resume. And, it's always good to currently always upgrade your resume. I do my resume once a month. I upgrade my resume once a month. I look at it, I see what's up there, what's current, what's not current. So I do it once a month, even though I'm not looking for any career opportunities right now, but I keep updating. Like I had a meeting yesterday with the president of the college. He has me working on this project. I'm like, that's something to add on my resume. Go ahead, Sherry.
I was going to say, I don't do mine every month, but anytime I have a resume, and then I have a particular, it's a resume that they use for instructors. But anytime that I teach a new class, or I've developed a new class, or I've learned a new skill, I make sure I go back and update my resume with that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very important. And then sometimes the only reason I update mine every month because I forget. It sounds like, so as I'm working on student resume, because they come in a lot, and so I'm like, well, I mean, let me update mine. And so like now I'm about to update because we're about to do this big major project with our career coaches. I'm like, this is huge. So I'm about to add this on my resume. And so later this week, I will be adding that project on my resume, working with all these key stakeholders and upgrading our career coach platform. So I'm super, super excited about that. But I added that on my resume, so I won't forget it. And that's going to be an accomplishment. If this really works out, that's a career accomplishment that I haven't done before. So I'm super excited. So start thinking about different things that's going on in your life right now. I know a lot of you are working on wonderful projects. That'd be great to add that to your resume. I'm telling you what field are you going into. I know a lot of you are in Sherry Ridge class, and Sherry Ridge has a lot of these projects that she have you do. And if you completed that particular project and you know you did it successfully, what a great way to add that on your resume. And, and you have your instructor to even vouch for your work. And so add that. Now is the time to add those particular things. Lean into developing your brand to give employers a sense of your narrative and your mission, which will differentiate you from many applicants. So like, I'm going to go to Vanessa. Vanessa, you're going to be, you create and you design and you develop a whole product. What all those words I just used are key words to use on your resume. Create and develop and, and implement and design. And those are key words. I hope you're writing those down because I'm not going to remember. But those are key words to use on your resume because you're going to be an entrepreneur in developing those hats and putting it on the market. And so that is a perfect way to sell yourself. Then it says, when you're applying for remote jobs, read the job description very carefully. We have a lot of people who don't read the job description. They see the job title and they go for it. It's very important to try to read that job description. Pick, and they have specific skills on there. And make sure those skills that they're putting on their job description match on what's on your resume. They have some companies have a software program that trying to, they get hundreds of resumes. And so sometimes they match those keywords together. So what a great way to make sure that you're really reading that job description very carefully and you making sure that you fit into what they're looking for. Sometimes we just look at the title, but it's also a great way to make sure that those specific skills match, that your skills match what's on that particular job description. Linda, you like to add anything to this? I know you work on the resumes a lot. Is Linda still here?
I'm still here. I just
okay.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. He's right when he was talking about make sure you read the job description, and you want to be detailed yet concise in your resumes and pay attention to capitalization, how things line up, formatting, all kinds of what people might say, little stuff. You definitely have to pay attention to that, especially if you say you have an attention to detail. You pay attention to detail in your resume looks bad. So we can help with that. Just come and see us. And that's all I had to add.
If I could add a couple of things, Linda's so right. I can't tell you how. I was just on a committee for the county. They were giving away $50,000 grants to businesses, and businesses had to fill out an application. And many of the people, if there were spelling errors, if there was, on one page it was 14 font, and the next page it's 16. Anything that distracts from it. A lot of those, they were like it's like they didn't even take the time to properly and professionally fill out the the paperwork. So the little things do add up. And then the other thing, I'm a big believer that if I'm applying for 3 jobs, I should have 3 different resumes. Because if this job says they're looking for management, supervisory, and marketing skills, then I'm going to be listing those from my previous experiences. If the next job says they're predominantly looking for creative ideas, then I'm not going to be so heavy on my management and my marketing skills, but I'm going to be listing all of the initiatives that I've started throughout my life. So you really do, your your resume should kind of match up with that job description. And just real quick, a friend of mine was the superintendent of a high school, a whole school district, and they used a computer program software where and I think we do too, right? You put it in there, and if they're looking for, it's doing a search, it's looking for keywords. There is a big need in our country today for pathologists, and that's what she was looking for. And she met this young woman and really liked her, and the woman gave her credentials, and she says, you got to go this is the process, go fill out the application. Well, her resume didn't cover some of the key words that the software was looking for, so she never got beyond to get an interview. So the superintendent reached out and said, hey, I thought you were going to put in your resume. She said, I did. I haven't heard anything. And that's where she found this out. So you really do. If you're applying for 3 different jobs, it should be 3 different resumes.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Great job. Great job, Sherry. All right. So let's go to the next one. All right. So number 5, let's see. Let's admit Bree in. Okay. So number 5, add to your professional toolkit by taking online classes. So we're a firm believer of this because we are an educational institution, and our supervisor, myself and Linda's supervisor, is the associate vice president of our workforce area. So she oversees our training center. So like students who want to receive additional training. And so this will be a great job for you to for people that's out there that's looking for additional training. What a great way to take an online class. It just say online, because everyone is at that. I guess everything is online. Look at this presentation, it's online. So we need to be very comfortable or being online and talking online and being on Zoom. So use your free time to take an online class to expand your professional toolkit. It's important to take advantage of the opportunity to boost your qualification by learning a new skill. So this can be, I'm not sure if we offer our entrepreneur class, but it could be one in our certificate program, or even a Sherry Bridge says, yes, we do. Okay, perfect. But if we didn't, what a great way to go to our Shaw Center and take one of those additional training classes. If you know you need extra skills in Microsoft Office, Excel, I know you, any computer programming that you think they may help you, this would be a great way to go do those particular skills now. Certifications under your belt would definitely help, and it can help you apply for new roles. Like for myself, I got a degree in human resources, but I don't have the human resources certification, what they call SHRM. And so a lot of my friends like, Demetrius, you have the human resource degree. Why you don't have that certification? I'm like, oh, you're right. So Demetrius, you kind of working from home. Why you not taking that online class? I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. And so I'm like, okay, so I think I'm going to take it this summer. But that will also increase my marketing for myself, my brand for myself, when I go out there and start looking for other positions, or even just market myself here at the college and say, hey, I want to do more work with our HR office. And so I still do career services, but I want to do more with HR too. So if I get that certification, they can probably open up more doors here at our particular institution. So what a great way to get that. Given the current climate, several online learning companies have offered to share professional training. So you have some companies are now even offering their staff online training. So we work with a lot of companies. If you already work with a company, they're paying for you to go back to school and get additional training. And so you can also do that too if you're already working. Tip number 6, be flexible and consider temporary opportunities. And so during this particular time of now uncertainty, but now it's like we're getting back too normal, but then again, it's still, the unemployment rate is still at an all-time high right now. So people are still looking for work. Everyone is not working. So that's why if we go back to the first one about getting those skills, because it's new jobs that's out there. It's jobs out there, but some people don't have the skills to do the job. So that's why places like MCC have these training classes so you can get those skills, so you can go out there and get these jobs that are in demand. And that's what's happening right now. We have jobs in demand, but we don't have the skilled workers to do these jobs. And so it may not be your job of choice, but what a great way to do some temporary work. So be flexible and consider temporary opportunities. Like I have people in my neighborhood I think Linda heard this story before, but I have people in my neighborhood, and he's an older gentleman. It's not even a young guy, but he comes in and does my lawn. He done lawn service. He does lawn care. And when the pandemic first happened, he was trying to figure out what to do. And so it's some lawn care services in the neighborhood, but I didn't want to pay almost $100 to do my yard. So he charged me half the price. He charged me $50, but he was knocking on all the neighbors' doors and said, hey, I can offer this price. I'm just trying to get the work. So he was, I don't know what he did for a living, but he got laid off. I think he was in the hospitality industry, but he got laid off from the hospitality, but he was trying to find work to do. So during this pandemic, he knocked on all the neighbors' doors and said, I can do your yard for half the price that the competitors. And I paid $50 instead of paying $100. And so he still to this day, he does my grass to this day. And so he cut my grass, shoveling my snow, all of that stuff for $50. So I'm like, that's a great way. But he just started to do that. He picked up something temporary, but for his temporary gig, it's wound up being a permanent gig. He doing it for a time now. So start thinking about being flexible, consider temporary positions, even though it's not your job of choice, but you can do it for now. Right now, they have COVID tracers, and they have people who want to know if you had COVID. I had COVID at one point, so the college have someone that traces who has COVID and follow that. That wasn't a job a couple of years ago. And so it may be a job, it may not be, but but right now they have those people. And so also thinking about your passion, I'm going back to Vanessa, is Vanessa, right? Vanessa about her hats, and she's had that hat, and that can be something that that she wants to do with the hat. It's a passion of yours, making hats. I know Linda Gurley, Linda, can I share this about your other passion that you have? Linda has a passion for animals. And, we have the lion right behind Sherry Ridge right now, but Linda has a passion for animals. And so besides just working in our office, Linda got a little side gig, and she, and she cares for animals. She's an animal sitter. And so she loves that. And so it's a little hustle that she does on the side. And so she probably dog sitting right now. I'm not sure. So she is. And so she's working and she's doing two jobs at once. And so that is so cool for Linda. But something to think about. You can put a spin on activity to making that part-time job or freelance opportunity to a regular job, as I just stated before. So kudos to Linda. Linda, how you like, what kind of dog are you sitting right now?
Right now, thanks, Demetrius, I have 2 standard poodles. I'm actually at my own home looking in on my cats because I'm finding they're getting jealous. But at my gig, I have 2 standard poodles, one black, one white, and then the client's mother is staying in the house too. So at lunch, I had her outside because she wanted to be outside. She asked me to help her. So it's rewarding to help people keep their pets at home. They don't have to do anything else. They don't have to shelter them or anything. But Demetrius, I also wanted to add, temping is really good. That is how I got my job here at MCC. I started in career services as a temp before Demetrius was hired. And then I went through a couple other areas, couple departments, and I applied for the career services job, was interviewed and got it. But I've gotten 3 jobs, I think, starting as a temp. So once they know you and know your work, they're more likely to hire you. you have to always go through the processes that they lay out, but it's a good way for them to get to know you and your work ethic and things like that. You can also pick up extra skills. If you're not really good at Excel and you want more Excel, sometimes a temp job will teach you Excel. So those are my 2 cents. Thanks.
That's so true. And and we work with, was it Working World we got you from, Linda? And so Working World is one of our temp agency that the college loves. And sometimes some people shy away from going to a temp agency. I'm like, why? Go through a temp agency. A lot of companies and corporations use temps, use the temp agency to hire their staff. It may be a temporary job, but which can lead to full-time. And Linda is a prime example. Thank you, Linda. And so Linda is a prime example of that, of a temp job winding up being full-time. Go ahead, Sherry.
Oh, if I could add, I know my youngest son who was in the Army, he works for Abbott Labs. And Abbott and AbbVie, they only hire people through a temp agency. It's very interesting. They only use a certain temp agency, and you have to come in first through that. And if they like you and you do well in the year, they will offer you a full-time position, which the pay skyrockets, the benefits are just unbelievable. He did have benefits through the temp agency, but they really weren't that great and they cost a lot. So there are a lot of big companies, as Demetrius and Linda have shared, that's the only way they hire people. They want to see, they want to look and see what are your skills? Are you reliable? Are you easily trained? Can you think fast on your feet? And so to be a temp, they can just say, we don't want Demetrius back. And then they're not, there's no laws or anything they have to go through. He's a temp. So we didn't need him anymore. Send me 2 other temps, and they will do that.
All right, so it's no union, because like we all protected by the union, but if you're a temp, you're not protected by the union. Linda, like, no. So that's all great. And so you heard it here we got prime examples, Sherry Ridge's son, and also Linda, that temporary work can wind up being a full-time opportunity. So wow, that was great. Thank you for sharing. Number 7, be prepared to interview virtually and start remote. To start work as a remote employee. So you may still have to, even though we're starting to move back into working in person, but you may never know. A lot of companies, I just read an article, I live in Chicago, I live by Midway Airport, but I got to drive through downtown Chicago and I'm looking at some of these empty buildings. A lot of empty buildings when I got to drive through the loop to get to McHenry. And so some companies are not having their employees come back to work, and so you may be working remotely. My sister-in-law just started her job a month ago. She worked for an online university in Georgia. She does something like our CTL. She's like a Holly, Sherry Ridge and Linda. She's like a Holly. So my sister-in-law is like a learning management director or coordinator or something like that. But she works at an online school in Georgia. She's never going to set foot on that college campus, but she started remote. She started last month and I was like, yay, she got the position. And she worked through me, even though I did it on the side. She didn't come to our center, but I worked with her, did her resume and everything like that. And so, but she got the position, but she started as a remote employee. She interviewed, everything was via Zoom. She never flew out to Georgia. Did everything from the comfort of her own house. And so, and she's been there a month now. She's loving it. She's still on probation, but just wanted you to know that now is to start thinking like that you may never walk into a company. We don't know. And so we don't know what's going to happen as we start moving forward, but just be prepared to be ready to interview virtually, be comfortable being on Zoom, talking on Zoom, come to our office. Linda and I will do mock interviews with you to how to set up your camera and make sure you don't have our background. So if you interviewing, you will not have Sherry and myself background. You have a normal background, and we can talk about how do you interview virtually and how did you start, give you tips on how to start work virtually. And all of this right here is on the screen right now. Like bullet number 2, dress appropriately as you was heading into the company. Control your environment. Find a place that's quiet, clutter-free, well-lit. Linda, I'm gonna share the story about one of our partners that we partner with. It's a company that our college partnered with, and this particular young man, he's like the director, and he had like clutter of. You could tell he was in his bedroom. He had stuff all on his dresser drawer and clothes hanging out. And our vice president, like, what is that man living in? And so she wasn't, we all paying attention to the presentation, but we was too busy looking behind him and like, what's going on in his background? And so she was very,
and his bathroom was behind him.
Oh yes, that was his bathroom too. You remember that, Linda? So it was bad. And so our vice president could not pay attention to what was going on. And he was very professional, but we was too busy looking at what was going on behind him. So it's very important that, come to us. We're going to give you some tips on how to interview if you do have to interview virtually, and then you have to and then how to start work professionally at home. So it says right there, download the platform like Zoom to ensure your interview goes well. So we can give you tips if you do come to our office. Sherry, would you like to add anything to that? I saw you lean in. Oh, I guess she's done.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is anything that takes away from, and I tell my students this, we just had a conversation today, and just like with the little spelling errors or that we talked about with the resume, anything that takes away from the presentation, the answer is going to be no, or you're not going to be hired. Like they said, the guy was professional, what he was saying, they liked, but yet they kind of weren't 100% paying attention because they were distracted by what was in his background. So you do want to make sure that you definitely have a professional setting, and you need to be looking and making sure you don't want the camera up here where it's just showing the top of my head, right? You want to make sure that they can fully see everything that you need them to see.
That's so true. Cool. All right, so let's go to the next one. So this is the last tip right here. So be patient. It may be a slow process. So if you're out there looking for work, you're not going to just jump right into work right now, especially with the pandemic going on. It depends on what field you're going into. And also if you do utilize our office and you look for an internship, you can get the internship quickly. But it says be patient with yourself and employers. This is a tough time for everyone, and companies are experiencing challenges and undergoing so much change in a short time. So we want, as you're looking for a job, some people want the job right away. They want it now. But we just want you to just recognize that the process is going to go slow. And this is very unusual for everyone, and give companies time to adapt to the new normal. Go ahead, Sherry.
Yeah, this one, I experienced this. As most of you know, I've been with the college since 2007, but I was a part-time instructor. And then when the full-time position came open, I think I applied in May. I got an interview in June, and I was called. That you go on to the next step if they call you in to talk to the vice president. That happened in July. I mean, it was like a month went by every single time. And I don't think that that's just specific to academia. I think that's, in any time that they're hiring a full-time position. And then it was like another month after that I found out that I got the position. And one of the things that I did is I did call the HR and ask what the process was, because when the first month went by, I just assumed, okay, they hired somebody else. I haven't heard anything. And I was just on campus for something else. And someone asked me, hey, did you get a call back? And I said, no. And they're like, what? And I'm like, no, I thought they filled the position. And it was just, as he has here, it was just the process. That's just how the process was. So be patient. And I would, though, you don't want to put anybody that's on the search committee in an awkward position. So you could always call the HR and just ask them, what can I expect is the process? What are the next steps? How much time can I wait? Because the other thing is, I had another job offer come to me during that, but my heart was here. And had their process taken so long, and I took that other one, right? Of course, it didn't work out that way, as Demetria said. I feel very blessed to be here, living my dream again for a second time in my life, but here at MCC. But again, just with the process, find out what it is. Contact the HR. If you really think you did well and they really liked you, call them. And the last thing I would say is something that I did, and this is rare, and this is part of marketing, and I tell my marketing students, you want to send an actual handwritten thank you note to everybody on that committee. And it needs to be different. For example, I had someone on the committee. It used to be the person that had Demetria's position years ago. She was on the committee, and she asked me if I could give her some examples of projects that I do to meet diversity in the classroom. And that was a really good question, something I wasn't prepared for. And I'm like, whoa, what? And so I gave an answer, and I really didn't feel it was a good answer. And even by the look on her face, I just didn't feel. So on her thank you note, I put on there, I said, I feel I didn't really give you a full answer. I wanted to share with you, here's 6 other of the assignments that I do in my class that are about diversity. So they were tailored to each one, handwritten, and a stamp put on there. Not, I put a big colorful stamp, but you definitely want to hand address the envelope, because how many of us get a hand addressed envelope these days? Not many. So when we do, those are always the first one I open. I want to know who's sending me a letter. So just a little marketing tip for you.
And it's interesting. I got a letter from, only stamp I got recently was from my mama. My mama sent me a stamp, a letter stamp, but it was like a birthday card. But you're right, you don't get that, a handwritten letter anymore.
And let me tell you something, for business and personal, when I go to the post office and I look and I say, I want the most colorful. If it's Sesame Street, it's Sesame Street. If it's Wonder Woman, and I want the big ones, the colorful ones, because those stand out and people look at that. We're all used to the stamp, of it going through a machine, right? But to see a postage stamp, trust me, they will open that thank you note or letter.
Yeah, that's so true. That's great tips. And so, like she said, just be patient and trust the process. It may be slow at times. It depends on the company. It may go quick, it may go slow, but just be patient. That's the key word right there, is being patient. All right, so I think that was all the tips. And this right here, just something that we just wanted to share with you about what employers are looking for as you out there looking for a job. And so it's just being confident and not arrogant. That's one. Positive body language, as you applying for positions, if you're on an interview, those are definitely appear to be interested in that position if you are going to be applying for any positions. And also just for you in general, just be positive, upbeat about it. That's why I always play happy, right, Sherry? I love my happy song. Strong communication skills is a plus, able to interact with others, talk with people, willing to listen, and ability to write. It's interesting. I just had a conversation with someone yesterday about we're struggling right now with some of our students in their writing skills. I don't know if you had that conversation, Sherry, but we were just talking about how some people struggle with writing. And so what a great way to, to get that additional help, come to myself and Linda, because we're going to work on your resume. Your cover letter is so huge, because that's how we judge you on your writing skills. If you put a cover letter together with your resume. If some applications even ask for you to write, and she just talked about diversity. They may ask you, what is your statement on diversity? And you may have to write something on the application. So we're looking at what your beliefs and your morals are, but also we're looking at what is your writing style. I know for MCC, they had me to write a letter to an employer and a letter to a professor. So they want to know what was my writing style. And so it's very important to, if your writing is not that strong, what a great way to go seek that help and get that additional training. But strong communication skills are all different levels, verbal or even written is very, very important. Your willingness to learn is important. Learning from mistakes. And so on the interview, they're going to ask you, what areas of you need to improve on. I always share them one of my mistakes that I made, but I say what I learned from that. And I'm human and we're going to make mistakes, but I share mistakes that I have made in the past, but what I learned from those particular mistakes. And so that's what I did for me to even get this particular position. Able to retain information, your willingness to work, your strong work ethics, and also your ability to resolve conflict appropriately. You know, we always have some type of conflict. And so even when I'm on the interview, they always ask that basic conflict question. You know, how do you resolve conflict? And they may give me a scenario. And so if you was in one of our previous workshops, I talked about the STAR technique. And so, and that's when I answered that particular question with our STAR technique. Any questions about this right here? And then last but not least, our contact information. We ended almost at 7 o'clock. That's what I wanted. We did good. Look at Linda over there clapping. Yeah, great job, D. All right, so this is our contact information right here. Career Services, careers@mchenry.edu. Please utilize us. We're here for you. And so each and every one of you pay your tuition. And so it pays our salaries. And so our services is for you. And so I'm the coordinator right now. Linda's there. She's our admin. So you call that number and you go directly to Linda, and Linda will set you up with an appointment to come in our office or Zoom or whatever you feel comfortable with to talk about any of your needs, any of your career services need. You need to still unsure about your major. You want to confirm and validate what you're going into. What a great way. You want to be in a job shadowing program. What a great way to come to us. You want to get an internship. What a great way to talk to us. Resume development, cover letter development, interviewing skills, techniques. Come to us. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you be successful at the end of the day. The information that I got from this particular presentation was from glassdoor.com, and also we use College Central Network. A lot of community colleges use that particular network, so you can definitely go to those particular sites. Thank you.
Let's give Demetrius a big round of applause. Thank you so much, Linda and Demetrius, for helping us and provide this important information. Many of us will be looking for some side hustles or some side jobs in the summer or going into the fall. We have maybe a few minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? Anything they wanted to ask or get clarification on? Yes, please.
With my language, it's not good. I understand maybe 50%, but I record all. My son, he will translate. I want to ask if we bring our CV resume to MCC, they can arrange our resume to find work?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Me, civil engineer, my husband, computer engineer. But the problem, we study outside the US. They don't accept our certificate here.
Yeah.
Can't find how we can work, at least same our work.
Right. And so I'm going to have you contact Linda, and we're going to have a one-on-one appointment, and we can sit down and we can talk about some options for you.
Okay. My husband, he is outside. He will come within 15 days. I'll try to call him.
Okay. Perfect.
Also, we did have this recorded. We will have a link to a recording of this. So if you reach out to Demetrius or Linda, or once we get the recording, we can send that out to anyone that's interested in that. I worked for a organization called Mano a Mano Family Resource Center. I served on their board. I was a volunteer there, and then I ended up by simply volunteering, getting a paid position teaching English as a second language. And I can tell you, I found it so frustrating. You would get people that would come from other countries. They're doctors, they're nurses. I mean, you know, to cut a hand and stitch it is the same in the US or Mexico or anywhere else. And so it's very odd because I've heard that not all countries are like that. The United States is that way. We're like, no, we don't accept your credentials. There has to be a way to be able to. It might be you taking one or two classes, maybe, you know, because you said you had a degree. So definitely starting with career services will be a good start for you.
Great question. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. Well, on behalf of the business department, the business club, and career services, we thank you so much. And we look forward to bringing you some new and interesting workshops in the fall and for the next year. Have a great night. And again, we will get this recorded if anybody wants a copy of it. Those of you that are doing extra credit, you need to make sure that you follow the assignment board in order to get the complete extra credit. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you,
Good
Linda.
night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody. Good night.